everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Run and Gun. Been on my list for quite a while. I don't know why, I just never watched it. It's 5.1 on IMDb, but only 795 people rated it so far. It is on Paramount Plus right now. If you wanted to see it, it's about a guy who went to prison or got in jail, whatever, comes out living a good life now, turned himself around, of course. And as usual, when that good guy, something happens, and he has to get a package and deliver this package or something like that, and then he gets chased by assassins. So, yeah, you know, classic story that the good guy, the bad guy turns good and has to go back to bad to save his family kind of thing, right? And here's the thing, normally these are on my list for somebody I know. I don't really recognize anybody on here. Richard Kind, I also recognize the one girl in this, which is Angela Sarafyan, F-Y-A-N. I've seen her before. But other than that, I don't recognize anybody, at least in the beginning. So let me get into it, find out what it's about, give you a better idea, see if I recognize and why this is on my list, and I'll let you know how it is. Stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Run and Gun. No check-ins. Oh, there's a little post-credits scene here, so I'm going to pause it. Didn't realize that. But no check-ins. Again, I'm trying to, streamline my reviews a little bit more, see how the reaction works. But anyway, this is not at all what I expected. I mean, for the most part. And this is kind of why you have me. This is why I do these reviews, because if you read IMDb, you might watch it thinking the things I was thinking. So I'm thinking this is like an action thriller. It even says action thriller, I think, as a description. And it's more comedy than it is action thriller. And, it's... Sorry, there's something in my eye, but... and it's over the top. I want to say, like, not over the top, like, ha-ha funny, but like the ridiculousness of the movie. And they're obvious about it. It's not like somebody, made a poor movie that we're all going to laugh at them. They try and make it, silly and more entertaining, fun from a funny perspective or a humorous perspective than they do action and thriller. I went into it thinking, this is your this guy, bad guy, comes out and starts his family, all that kind of stuff. There's going to be a lot of action. Now, I will say I'm a little bit disappointed as I'm talking through this. The one main character that was in it, if I can find him, Luca, I think his name was. Yeah, Luca. Right in the beginning. And that's when I'm like, wow. So our main character doesn't come out of prison. He is a shifty fella and, ran with the wrong crowd. Not a lot of backstory. Just very minimal in the beginning. And he meets Luca, who I thought in the beginning of this film, I found him very funny, very personal, a lot of charisma. I kind of liked him, right? Small scene. And it seemed like, okay, especially when that scene happens, you can guess the tone of the movie. And I didn't at that point. I thought, okay, they're doing a little humor here, but it's not going to continue. Well, it does. And so knowing that going into that, I think will prepare you for a little bit more about what you're going to see. Anyway, Lucas, seemed like they're going to be friends or something was going to happen there. And then you don't really see him the rest of the movie. One other spot. Now, maybe this is where he's going to come out the back, but they wasted a good character with Luca, if I'm getting his name right, throughout the entire movie. But he was running with the bad crowd, doing bad things, we don't know much. And he escapes from there and he moves to California. That's where he meets his girlfriend who has a kid in the suburbs. And, and then he hears from Luca. Evidently, the people who were after him before are now after him. And so he's hired to get this package, do an exchange for the package. And that's it. The whole movie is around that exchange and everything that happens to him after that. It's obviously not just a clean exchange and life goes on. There's a whole much more going on. Assassins, I wouldn't say they're assassins. The bad guys are after him. People for various reasons. The guys who did the switch. The guy he's working for, another guy, so on and so forth. So, again, trying to be a little bit more concise on my reviews. So going into this, I had a different vision. Coming out of it, I have a better vision that I can prepare you for. So if you think you're into more of a silly kind of comedy disguised as a action thriller, this might be for you. Not that I didn't like the characters, you know, but it gets a little ridiculous from time to time, which is fine. And they introduced this other character, Billings, and then I was like, oh, I love this character, and then he changes. He was like a Lou Ferrigno kind of big guy, but with a big heart kind of guy, and then that changes too. So, which is fine. That doesn't bother me. But I even wrote it down like, oh, this is kind of like Lou Ferrigno. I really like this character. What was he? I had some other notes. Yeah. Oh, the other piece of it I found interesting was how the reference to Mandela effect. So I haven't, seen that in a while, and they do it in a silly way. And then you realize that there's more to that whole plot, what I thought was just a silly mention of the Mandela effect, to the plot of the movie. So it has a big piece in it that you'll come to see, and you'll see what I mean by ridiculousness when you see that. So there you go. My lack of preparation for this movie, not knowing what I was going to get, ending up what I got, and really lowers my score around a 4 or 5 for me on IMDb scales. Still working on the other scale. I have a good idea, I just have to map it out. Anyway, but again, if you go into it with a different perspective when you start it, you might enjoy it a little bit more than I did. So hopefully I was helpful. If you do decide to watch it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And again, let me know what you think of the new format. And I promise very, very soon we're going to have a new scoring around Kimmel's Irish Pub reviews. Alright, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.